Hey guys, this is Locke. Today I'm going to go over my CM matches today. So I accidentally forgot to record the first match, so I'm only going to go over 4 matches. And I made it so that the first 3 matches are wins, and the last match I lost, and I made a lot of positioning errors actually. So the first match is a dodge match, and it goes on for a little bit. The second and third matches are relatively quick. It's about, I think, 2-3 minutes each, and then the fourth match is about 10 minutes. So depending on what you want to see, if you want to see the positioning, if you want to learn more about positioning, you can skip to the fourth match. But if I'll just give you my general thoughts as we go over all these matches. So as you can see, I'm using Federica, Nivlu, and Dwayne. Uh, Federica has Federica's Dream VC. Dwayne has his own VC, which gives attack to the whole party and magic resist. And finally, Nivlu has Castle of Horn, which gives her 30% attack to the bestowed effect, 30% attack to her own bestowed effect. As you can kind of tell, I'm not talking as I'm recording these. I've had to pre-record the videos, and then now I'm talking over it. So I'll try to do my best to talk about what's going on, but I'm adding the audio after, so it's a little bit awkward, but I hope you can bear with it. So as you can see, I don't know how much of the action you caught, so I'll just kind of say what happened. I am fighting against a dodge team. He is using the Shiva VC, he's using the Ketone VC, which, both those cards are maxed, so I'm expecting these guys to have like very high dodge, especially that Venera. So for my strategy right now, I know that nobody could have attacked my Dwayne if I came up there and picked up that crystal. So that's why my Dwayne is out here, whereas my other 2 units are kind of spread out. I have Kiza's TMR on Nivlu, so she's good for AP regen, but Federica could use more AP. So I'm trying to make sure that I would like to get that crystal, but if I did, I felt like I could have been attacked by by somebody. I don't want that, so that's why I'm keeping her a little distant. What I'm trying to do now is try to see will I have enough accuracy to attack people, and he had, I think, 70% to attack and disable, and he landed that disable thankfully on what's her face? Kilfei. I can't believe I forgot her name for a sec. So anyway, the match is going good so far, but the real threat in this whole team is that Venera, because she has the highest dodge. I only have Federica to deal with, high dodge teams, and that Venera also has pretty high missile resist. She has 20% missile resist naturally, and then my opponent is also using a card that gives additional 15% missile resist to her, so she has 35% missile resist. I'm going to have a bit of trouble taking her down, and Federica will be my key to somehow taking her down, so I have to make sure my Federica is protected at all times, and you can see he's coming right for that Federica. He's not even worrying about Nivlu, who has way more AP to burn, because he knows that Nivlu very likely will not be able to hit Federica. Sorry, will likely not be able to hit Venera. So anyway, now I've kind of talked about what I wanted to talk about, like as a preface, so hopefully I can just get right into the action. You can see that Nivlu does a lot of damage because she has a lot of stacked effects from all the VCs I'm using. So that's why she does so much damage to Kane. So just to go over the damage calculations there, she has Federica's Dream giving her 35 missile attack. She has Dwayne's card, which is giving her 35% additional attack. And then she also has Horn Castle VC, which is giving her an additional 30% attack. So that's why she does almost 2.5, 2.8, 3k damage to Kane, who's not, he's kind of bulky. So and also again, everybody has missile resist, has an additional 15% missile resist. Kane starts with 5. I'm not sure if he was using his own mastery, so it could either be 20% or 35%, but she was still able to take him out in 2 hits. She had to use a 3rd hit to take out his immortal spirit, but so she did that. So now I have these 2 left, and again, I don't know if you're seeing the numbers here, but Dwayne had 0% chance to hit Venera, and my Nivlu had 2% chance to hit Venera. So these numbers are not very good. Well, not right now, it's 0%. So Venera is going to be difficult to take down, especially if she kills Federica, which she might right now. I think she actually I got a reflex here actually. So I was lucky because I think this would actually one shot Federica. Yep, I got a reflex. So I was lucky here, but not lucky enough that I was not able to crit, because if I had crit, I would have easily won this match. So yeah, so I think he's trying to figure out what to do. He can tell that because Nivlu and Dwayne are likely not going to be able to hit his Venera, as long as he kills Federica, he might have a chance. I mean, I could run away, which is actually what I end up doing, but but yeah, I mean, like, so the problem with his composition was that he only used one single really high evade character, which is Venera. The other two, yeah, okay, they had VCs to support them, but they don't really have much natural evade. So therefore, especially Nivlu, she has a very high dexterity. So because of that, I was able to kind of manage taking the other two characters out, even without having to rely on Frederica's guaranteed hit. So if you use three characters, like say Ruinstern, Laswell, and Venera or something, I would have a lot of difficulty fighting that team with this composition, because again, only Federica can, use guaranteed hits, and if everybody has high missile resist, she will probably not even be two-shotting them. She couldn't even two-shot Venera. So that's one major weakness of the team that I'm playing right now. And as you can see, I literally have no way of defeating that Venera, so I just had to run away. So this second and third match go a lot faster. I had kind of worked out a buffing pattern for my first turn. So first turn I'm going to use Kiza's TMR on Nivlu, obviously. And the first turn I also use aimed fire. Now what I do is I kind of try to plan what I want to do. Because he's using rangers, it'll be risky for my Federica to advance to get that crystal on the square in the side. So instead, I realized I'm gonna be safe and move Dwayne there. Dwayne has an option; he can get either of the two crystals, but I kind of want him in the corner because I don't want them to attack me right away. I'm also kind of keeping my unit spread out so that if he does somehow get into a position to pull off barrage, it doesn't get everybody, right? So that's what I want to do. So typically on my second turn, I haste Nivlu herself. She usually has a lot to do because she can break down barriers, she can remove buffs, and she can also haste my whole team. So because she has so much to do, I always try to haste her on the second turn if I'm not attacking. And once I've done that, now I noticed that his Federica was out of position, so I capitalized on that. She could have reflexed it, and if she did, maybe my Federica would be dead. But thankfully he did not reflex, so I was able to one-shot the Federica. And now I've pretty much won the game after that disable hit. But to make this even better, I use her LB, which actually decreases defense by 35. So that Kane survived because of Immortal Spirit, but there was nothing he could do, so he gave up because he was already disabled. So the third match also very similar. But this time I'm fighting a bruiser comp. Well, not a bruiser comp actually. It's a dragoon bruiser comp. So it's actually he's actually focusing on rushing everyone down because his Agrius is using Kane's TMRs to get 4 move. So he's trying to rush towards me and take take everyone down before I have a chance to actually fully buff and everything. So I don't know if he made a mistake right there where his Victoria didn't move. Because if I notice her range, she can, if I don't move my units, she can go and at least kill one of them right there. So maybe he tried to confuse me and think that, oh yeah, I didn't have enough time to make my move, but it'll be dangerous for me to stay where I am, especially for my gunners. I keep calling Nivlu a gunner because I'm so used to saying gunners as rangers, but anyway, you know what I mean, I hope. So, so this is where we're at. I am focusing on Kane right now because he's the closest threat. But first, if I'm able to, I would like to haste myself. I'm hoping I have enough time to do that. So that's what I spend a turn doing. Um, because he is because he has what is it called? The re-raise TMR on Victora. He he needs AP, so he can't fully rush towards me. He could have moved a lot further. Well, first of all, he made one mistake where I don't know if it's a mistake. Assuming it's a mistake, he didn't have enough time to complete what he wanted to do with Victoria. If it And so assuming that was a mistake, on the second turn, he couldn't go as far as he wanted to because he had to stop in the space to get a crystal. So if that Victoria had like Kiza's TMR or some other way of getting AP, she could have walked a lot further. So I mean that TMR I guess gave her an extra turn, but there isn't really too much that she could do with it. The way I built my comp is that I realized that I will either be fighting, rangers like I did, in my last match, or I'll be fighting people with very heavy, either missile resist or people that rush me. And even the people that rush me, they usually typically have at least some missile resist. So that's why I have Dwayne in my comp, because he is there to deal with the people that built for missile resist because they're expecting to fight, people that have missile resist. So that's why I gave him his own card, because I could have actually just given him like a missile resist card instead of his own card to make my team withstand rangers. I figured I would just try to win the positioning battle if I'm fighting other rangers. But if I'm fighting a brawler team that is built to take out rangers, I need my Dwayne to do damage. So that's why I'm using, the team that I'm using. So now this is the fourth match, and this is the one I lose. And I lose it actually because of two very stupid positioning mistakes that I shouldn't have done. So it's so easy to make a mistake. If you just move one square over, I would have won, very likely. But I didn't because I wasn't paying attention, or I got too cocky, or whatever it is, right? So anyway, in this team, I actually thought that he wasn't sure what he was doing because he didn't use what is it called? The +1 move, +1 jump on Dwayne for a long time. He's just kind of walking around in the back. He's not even picking up crystals. So I was very confused. I was wondering what he's doing there because, he's not rushing me, which is, typically I would say that's a kind of bad play, simply because I have Nivlu who has haste. So I can get all my units hasted, and I can stand where she's standing right now and have a huge range. Actually, not where she's standing. If she moves up to the other spot on that mountain-like thing, she has a huge range, and she can hit like very, very far. Because ranger skills, every +2 height that you have, your hitbox goes up by 1. So she already has like a hit of, I think, a range of, I think, 7. So it goes up by an additional 1 or 2 because of the mountain spaces that she's standing on. So anyway, it's a huge range. So I don't know why he's standing there. I would have expected him to come towards me. So maybe that's why I got too cocky, because I was like, oh yeah, this guy doesn't know how to play, or something like that. No offense to him if he's actually watching this. I mean, you did win, so congrats. You won this match. But if you're looking at this match and you're like, oh, how do I play against rangers? I would typically not hide behind the wall there because, yeah, okay, I think he had some missile resist, so I'm not doing too much damage to him. So if he had attacked with all three at the same time, maybe he would have. Like right now, I'm basically able to pick off his units one by one, even if I'm doing only very little damage. See, like, she is doing 500 to 700 damage on Agrius. So it'll take a long time to kill her. But because his other two units are so behind, and they're not even a threat, I can slowly work on Agrius and try to deal damage to her little by little. So the first mistake I made was actually where I left Frederica. She could have, like, I had more spaces to move. I just for some reason forgot to account for her LB, which has a range of 5. So my Frederica is there, and I decided to put Dwayne there because I was like, well, I don't know. I think it was another mistake as well. I should have moved Dwayne not there. My Dwayne has the confuse resist armor, so I didn't think he would get confused. Maybe that's why I moved there. I'm like, oh yeah, he's gonna hit Dwayne, he's gonna fall for it. But then I forgot my Frederica was in range. So what I was trying to do was get him to use his LB on Dwayne, but I forgot that Frederica was also in range. So that was a stupid mistake for me. Um, so that was the first thing I did that was wrong. Uh, so I'm trying to move everybody back. I was hoping that Frederica would, not hit my own Dwayne. Um, so right now he's already winning because of a stupid mistake I made. If Federica was not where she was and did not get hit by the confuse, I would probably not be in this position where I have to fully retreat. Uh, and the other thing is my Dwayne had Purify that he could have used to cure confuse. So maybe that would have also been a good move for me to do. I'm not sure because he did kill Agrius. But anyway, that was a mistake. The second mistake I made is right here when I left Nivlu in that spot because now she's gonna get killed by Dwayne. So two mistakes in a row. This is why I lost. I made those mistakes. So no matter what unit you have, no matter how good you are, you can easily make mistakes. You can forget to count. You only have 30 seconds on the clock. It goes faster while you're in the heat of the battle. Uh, I mean, this whole video is sped up by 2 times, but this is how my match went, and this is a loss. This is actually very close at the end as well. I think he only won here because his Orlando was hasted from his LB's effect. Because his Orlando ends up taking 2 turns. He doesn't have any AP left now for attacks, but I mean he could have done a few things. He could have my Dwayne had quite a bit of AP because he picked up I think 2 crystals. Um, so he can normal attack me for like no damage. Well, not no damage, but very little damage. He probably wouldn't have killed Dwayne. My Dwayne is pretty tanky. Um, but I guess he realized that he would get a second turn if he just buffed and didn't move, and then now he has enough AP to kill my Dwayne. So that's how he won.